If you never heard of Agenda 2030, stay tuned for the rest of the video.
Agenda 2030 is a global action plan for sustainable development in the 21st century. For wealthy nations, achieving sustainable development means adopting and implementing policies concerning issues such as recycling, energy efficiency, conservation, and rehabilitation of damaged landscapes. Who signed Agenda 2030?
Really though?
More than 178 countries have already adopted this agenda as official policies during a signing ceremony at the Earth Summit. The U.S. President George H.W. Bush signed this document for the U.S., and in signing, each nation had to pledge that they were going to adopt. So, getting to the two principal goals of the agenda. The two principal goals of 2030 are, one, to combat environmental damage, poverty, disease through global cooperation and common interests, mutual needs, and shared responsibility. It's getting deep. So you got to pay attention because, like we said, these things are already being implemented, and you just don't see it because we so wrapped up in our day-to-day lives. This is the games they play while we doing what we do.
Even so, since 1992, when, you know what I'm saying, President Bush Sr., at the time, who had, you know, and mind you, there was no American vote at the time for that kind of thing. So he just went over there as president and vouched for everybody and said, we doing this anyway. But that was the kind of time where you can see where big companies were getting tax breaks and tax credits for kind of changing anything to, we call it green now. But back then they called it, something different that, from keeping the smoke out the air from the factories or whatever it is, burning plastic or whatever it is to be an environmental thing. That was the catch that they brought it on. They give them kickbacks and big checks. If they didn't give them kickbacks, they give them large amounts of money to be able to go on if they would do and downsize, from what they were using at the time that were what they saying is harmful to the ozone layer and different things to the earth. You know what I'm saying? So those were when you start seeing it, Okay, so talking about how Agenda 2030 has been implemented. Global progress with implementation of Agenda 2030 was accepted by more than 178 governments in 1992. Progress toward achieving Agenda 2030 goals is occurring, but has been slower than anticipated, and we'll talk about the reasons why a little later on. But it says, what is the purpose of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals? They have 17 goals, and what we're going to do is I'm going to read this, and then we're going to break down the goals because I found another article that actually put the goals into terms that you can understand. Right.
And tells you what they actually really mean, because they'll just have you, we're going to make this, we're going to do this, and everyone's going to be happy, everyone's going to be better off, you're going to live right, but they're not telling you how they're going to do it.
Side effects.
And this is where I was confused until I dug deeper and did more research so I could understand because because the whole time I was reading it, I was like, okay, but how are you going to do this? How? Like, you're talking about the plan, but how are you going to execute the plan? So it says, what is the purpose of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals? The Sustainable Development Goals are the blueprints to achieve a better and a more sustainable future for all. They address the global challenges we face, including those related to poverty, inequality, climate, environmental degradation, prosperity, and peace and justice. Sustainable development has been defined in many ways, but the most frequently quoted definition is from our Common Future, also known as the Brundtland Report.
Okay.
Sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own needs. You know what I'm saying? And it says, how do they achieve sustainable developments. 1, to eradicate extreme poverty and hunger. 2, to achieve universal primary education. 3, to promote gender equality. 4, to reduce child mortality. 5, to improve maternal health. 6, to combat HIV, AIDS, malaria, and other diseases. 7, to ensure environmental sustainability. 8, to develop a global partnership for development.
Wow.
Now, after reading about this deal or this plan, when I was researching Agenda 21, it was very vague to me. Because yes, you're saying you're going to do all these things, eradicate things and make some things better. But, they're just talking about the plan. Like I just said, they didn't say anything about the execution.
After watching the clip, you're probably like, oh, that's not real. That's made up. That's fake. Well, I challenge you to do your own research. Look it up for yourself. I challenge you to. And at the end of the day, we got to stick together. And it's only us. It's only us. Get what I'm saying? So, by watching the video, click the like button. If you don't like it, click the dislike button. But share this video. And we about to be out. Stay tuned. Another video coming. We consistent with it. But like this video, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. We out.